Who would have thought that one day I would see myself in a promo video for an MLM company? I never thought a company would be bold enough to use an anti-MLM creator in their marketing materials, but I have severely underestimated the sloppiness of the company we are covering today. They're a new MLM on the scene. They just got off the ground last month in June of 2025, and the name of this new company is Nueva. How original. As I'm sure you know, the word Nueva means new in Spanish. I would have given anything to be in on the conversation where they're deciding on the name of this new company. Let's see, we've got this new company. What would you call a company that's new? Nueva. I can't even take myself seriously. This is the equivalent of when somebody gets the Chinese character for love tattooed on them because that word in Chinese looks a lot cooler than that word spelled out in English. I'm sorry, but calling the new company Nueva is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. They were really in such a rush to get this company up and running that they were like, we'll call it Nueva. Sounds good. Done deal. Move on. And why were they in such a rush, you might ask? Because the majority of people responsible for creating Nueva were scrambling in a panic after their former company Modere shut down without warning. Modere closed its doors in April of 2025 without explanation and left everybody in the company high and dry. I did a whole video about that ordeal. If you want all the juicy details, I can link that below for you. But Modere shutting down was a massive issue for the top leaders in that company because they got comfortable making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year off of their downline members. They spent years in that company building up these massive teams of people, making a lot of money off of them, and then it was gone in an instant. So what do you do when your recruitment-based company shuts down? You scramble to create your own new recruitment-based company to try and rebuild those teams as quickly as possible. Get as many people from your Modere team to transfer over into your new downline so that you can attempt to secure a similar level of income that you have grown used to. I'm already getting ahead of myself with this, and I want to rewind to a couple months back to when Nueva came on my radar for all the wrong reasons. But first, I'd love to rewind to some of the delicious meals I made this week thanks to today's sponsor, Good Chop. You see what I did there? Good Chop delivers high quality meat and seafood straight to your door. I've been getting Good Chop deliveries for almost a year and a half now, and I've tried everything from their USDA choice and prime steaks, 100% grass-fed beef, wild-caught seafood, organic chicken, and so much more. Your boxes are completely customizable, and you can choose from over 100 different menu items to get exactly what you and your family will enjoy. This week I used some Good Chop chicken breast to make barbecue pulled chicken that we serve over mac and cheese. This is a family favorite in our household. And later in the week, I used some Good Chop thick cut bacon on these slider sandwiches. And dang, I always forget how hard a good sandwich can hit, especially when there's bacon on it. Good Chop meats and seafoods are vacuum sealed and flash frozen at peak freshness. They arrive to you frozen, so you can just stock your freezer and cook them whenever you want to. It's so convenient to always have high quality proteins in the freezer. It's one less thing on my grocery list, and I've gotten in the habit of kind of shopping my freezer when I'm thinking about what meals to make. Like, we've already got the meats on hand, let's start there. And unlike many other companies, Good Chop sources its meat and seafood exclusively from American farms and fisheries. So by choosing Good Chop, you're supporting local family farms and independent ranchers right here in the US. To try Good Chop, you can head to goodchop.com/YouTube and use my code HannahAlonzo50, or just click the link in the description box below, and that'll give you $50 off plus free shipping on your first box. Again, for $50 off plus free shipping, you can use my code HannahAlonzo50 at goodchop.com/YouTube. Thanks again, Good Chop, for your longtime support of the channel. Given that Nueva has a history of getting their feelings hurt and submitting copyright strikes on other YouTubers who make videos about them that they don't like, I feel the need to give this disclaimer first. Everything stated in this video is a matter of my own opinion. I'm not stating anything as fact, and I encourage you to visit the description box, look at all of those sources that I've linked. That's where I got my information, and I encourage you to form your own opinion. Nueva seems to think that when anybody screenshots or screen records their stuff and then features it in a YouTube commentary style video, that somehow we're like stealing their work and republishing it, and therefore they have a copyright claim against us, which is not true. That's not how this works. This video falls under fair use. I'm not simply taking your stuff and reposting it on my own platform and pretending it's mine. No, I'm taking it and I'm transforming it into something new for the purpose of commentary, education, or criticism. I understand why Nueva is upset with other creators talking about their company on the internet, and that's just kind of too bad. There have now been 3 or 4 other creators that have received copyright strikes from Nueva on their channel, which is a really big deal in the YouTube world. If you get 3 strikes on your channel gets shut down. Like, it's gone. It's a really, really big threat to have a copyright strike. And all of these creators who got strikes from Nueva had to go through an appeal process to get their videos reinstated, which to my knowledge, all of them have successfully done because Nueva doesn't have a case for a copyright strike because there are no grounds for these videos to be taken down in the first place. They fall under fair use. Nueva is just trying to abuse the YouTube copyright system to silence their critics, which is not a good look. Why would you try to silence people sharing information if you have nothing to hide? Point being, in this whole disclaimer, I know that that was long, but I have a feeling Nueva might come after me for this, and there might be a chance that this video will disappear at some point and I'll have to work to get it reinstated. And I'm just here to say, bring it on. You trying to silence me and take my videos down says a lot more about the operation you're running than it does about me and my channel. That only creates what's known as the Streisand effect. The more you try to silence the information and hide it from the public and keep it under wraps, the more people become interested in that information you're trying to suppress, because it's like, what are you trying to hide? This makes you look kind of shady and suspicious. I want to know what you're trying to get rid of on the internet. Trying to silence it only calls more attention to it. So thank you for letting me do that whole disclaimer. The purpose in all of that is if they do try to get the video taken down and somebody at YouTube has to manually review this video, they have that chunk to look at to realize what I'm trying to do here. This is not a copyright issue. This is Nueva trying to silence people issue. All right, here we go. So picture this. It's late May and I'm really busy packing and getting prepared for our move. And I'm kind of out of the loop as far as social media goes because, you know, I'm pretty preoccupied on what's going on in my personal life. I'm like uprooting my entire life and moving to the opposite corner of the country. Like, I'm not really checking my Instagram that much. When one day I'm taking a break, I sit on the couch, I open up Instagram. And while I'm there, I check my messages. And when I check my messages, I see that I've been tagged quite a few times in one particular video. I click on that video and it takes me a few seconds to register what I'm seeing. But what I realize is this is a promo video for this new MLM that I have never heard about before. And imagine my shock and horror when I see my own face pop up in this promo video. I'm gonna show you that whole video right now. What I did have to do is remove their copyrighted music from the background and I added in my own dark, ominous music. Because you know what? That would be a copyright claim, okay? If I did keep in the copyrighted music, they would have a case. So I took that out, added in my own. Here it is.
Of 2025, the wellness industry was shaken by a sudden and unexpected announcement.
The health and wellness brand that's been around for over 2 decades just disappeared.
Without warning.
Of course, Modere waited until I was on vacations to decide that they're shutting down their company forever.
Turns out that lots of things could stand in their way because they closed down.
Leaving behind a wave of confusion,
What?
speculation, and concern among thousands of loyal customers and independent distributors around the world.
But let's be honest, we didn't just witness history, we made it. We created one of the biggest shifts the direct selling world has ever seen, transforming traditional retail into a social movement, empowering everyday people to build a business from their phone. Then the company we helped build was ripped away from us. So we made a choice. We weren't going to sit back and let someone else write our story. From the chaos, hope is born. A new vision, a new standard, a new home. Built by the field, for the field. We are
First of all, what in the AI-generated stock footage garbage is going on here? This is a really sloppy, unprofessional looking promo video, if you ask me. And for that reason alone, I'm kind of offended to have been included in it. This looks like a rush job. This video communicates nothing about what this new company is or what kind of products they sell. They have all this generic footage of like women touching their faces like it's a beauty company, and then clips of people running and paddleboarding like it's a fitness company. Then they've got clips of people traveling like it's a travel company. Like, what what is the direction you're going in? We have no idea. And they don't even know at this point either. You'll come to see. The only purpose of this video was to advertise how Modere burned down and now Nueva is kind of the new company rising from its ashes. And they used a clip of me from my YouTube video talking about how Modere closed down to communicate that message. But not just my YouTube video, they also took a clip from Savannah Marie's video as well. Savannah Marie also makes commentary videos on YouTube and she covers a lot of anti-MLM topics, and she made a video about Modere closing as well. So her and I were kind of spliced into this montage to serve as the talking heads describing how Modere is now gone. Later in the promo video, they include some screenshots of different headlines about Modere closing, and I cracked up when I saw that one of the headlines they included was just a link to a thread on the Anti-MLM subreddit where people were discussing like, Modere's gone, woo! They also included a screenshot of my YouTube video title and thumbnail, although that did get mostly cut off there at the bottom. But they're referencing 3 different anti-MLM sources within this promo video, which is kind of astounding to me because it makes me and Nueva and the anti-MLM subreddit look like we're on Nueva's side. Like, look how awful it was that Modere shut down without warning. Don't worry, join Nueva instead. When in reality, our videos were created from the angle of like, here's an anti-MLM victory. Here's another company that got taken down. Here's why these companies are bad. This is why they're unreliable. This is why you should stay far, far away from them and how they're all the same. You shouldn't join another one because all MLMs are at risk of getting shut down at any time. I know for a fact I made that point in my video, but they didn't include that part, did they? No, they just spliced out the part where I'm talking about Modere closing and included that in their promo video for their own narrative. Savannah and I were cut and spliced in such a way that it looks like we're sort of in support of Nueva, which is very bold of them. I'll give them that. When I saw this, I wasn't mad. I was just like, oh, that is an interesting choice. like, wow, I really never expected that this kind of thing would happen. I was just kind of stunned by it. So what happened next? Well, I commented on this promo video because I just simply can't help myself, okay? I said, did I just see myself in a promo video for an MLM? And it took them exactly 4 minutes to delete my comment and to block me. Unfortunately for them though, I have many accounts to do my anti-MLM sleuthing, so I could still see everything that was going on in their comments. I just couldn't see it from my original account. So then naturally, I posted on my Instagram story calling attention to this whole ordeal. Like, this is crazy. I saw myself in a video, I commented, and they immediately blocked me. So many of the people who saw my Instagram story popped over to Nueva's post and started leaving their own comments. Some of them said, using anti-MLM creators to promote your MLM is madness. Not y'all using 2 of the most well-known anti-MLM content creators to promote your new scheme. Truly iconic. Hannah Alonso's full video on Modere shutdown is fascinating and worth a watch, by the way. Thank you for the little shout out. That's really nice. You really clicked post and said, yeah, this will go over well while using anti-MLM creators in your video. So embarrassing, babe. Not y'all using anti-MLM creators in your promo. And it just goes on. And I was getting some follow-up messages from these people saying that they too got blocked by Nueva after leaving their comment regarding mine and Savannah's appearances in this video. To my surprise though, whoever is running this Nueva account started replying to comments, and let me tell you, it was messy. Someone said, what intern decided to use 2 of the most well-known anti-MLM creators to promote their MLM propaganda? You guys are a joke. And to that, Nueva responded saying, do you think we follow the MLM haters, bro? LOL. Which, you know what? First off, this is supposed to be the official Instagram account for this up-and-coming company. What are you doing using words like bro and LOL in your responses to people in your comments? That was a very odd and unprofessional choice in my eyes. Like, I wouldn't have done that if I were them, I don't think. And then you claim not to follow us and you call us MLM haters, yet you use us in your pro MLM video. Like, it's just so bizarre. Then there was this really strange response too. This person said, absolutely shocked and appalled that Hannah Alonso, an anti-MLM YouTuber, appears in this promo and was then blocked after commenting on the reel. And the official Nueva account responds saying, I'm shocked that you're shocked. What? What are you talking about? Like, what kind of a response is that? What does that even mean? Like, who is running this account? You need a better social media manager. And things continue to get weirder with this comment. Somebody said, why is there content from 2 anti-MLM creators in this MLM promo? And Nueva responds saying, because none of us knew that they were anti-MLM people and we didn't make the video, LOL. We hired a video team to make it and they did an awesome job. Okay, I think you and I have different definitions of what awesome job means, but All right. When I saw this, I was like, what do you mean that you didn't make the video? What do you mean you didn't know who was in the video? Like, how did this make it onto your official Instagram account, seemingly without going through the appropriate vetting process, you know? In a weird way, this is kind of when it all started to make sense to me. It seems like they hired somebody on seemingly a very tight budget and a short turnaround time to create this video. They didn't fact check who was featured in the video. They just went, yeah, good enough. That'll work. We're on a time crunch. Let's post it. They put it on their social platforms without a second thought. That checks out for an MLM. Actually, the sloppiness is kind of to be expected. And please know that I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm pretty much a nobody. It's not like I was expecting these Nueva people to like know who I am or anything like that. I'm just saying that if you're gonna put a final product promotional video on your official social media platforms for this new up and coming company and you want to be taken halfway seriously, then you should probably vet the sources that were featured in that video. That's something they should have been asking the video editor. Like, hey, by the way, who are these women? Where did you get these clips? Are these reliable sources? Is this information we want to be aligned with? Do we want to be associated with these people's opinions and messaging? If they did their due diligence, they would have caught that, but they didn't, and that speaks volumes. What a horrible look, right? You're not off to a great start when one of the very first things you post before your company has even launched is featuring two people who actively speak out against companies like you. I'm truly dumbfounded on why this is even happening. How did we get in this situation, Nueva? They left another comment saying, no, honestly, we had no idea who they were. I think it's pretty hilarious. Hilarious? This is a joke to you? You think it's funny to be this sloppy when you're trying to get this new company off the ground and you expect people to trust you enough to sign up for this new business opportunity? Yeah, real hilarious. What a great look. It was somewhat of a miracle that I caught all of these screenshots because Nueva actually deleted their unprofessional responses within just minutes of posting them. It's like they tried their hardest to clap back at these commenters, but then they got understandably embarrassed or maybe realized like this is not probably how we should be acting on the internet, and then they deleted it in shame. And then within like an hour, the entire post was gone. They deleted the entire video. How embarrassing for them that a crowd of anti-MLM supporters had to inform this new company that their promo video was featuring two anti-MLM creators. If what they said is true, that they really had no idea and they didn't know who was featured in the video, that had got to be like the shock of a lifetime to them, to be like, what are you talking about? What do you mean we put anti-MLM people in our promo video? I bet there were some conversations being had behind the scenes on like who was responsible for posting this. But this whole ordeal is such a great example on how it appears that most things are going for Nueva in their attempt to become relevant. It's rushed, it's unprofessional, it's sloppy, and this is clear in almost everything they do, as you will come to see. And oh my god, I died laughing when I saw this. This is Tony Zalecki. He's one of the co-founders, co-owners of Nueva. I'm not really sure what they call themselves yet, but he posted this promo video to his personal Facebook account, and the thumbnail of the video is me. Like the image that Facebook chose to show as the preview for this video, it's just my face. God, the irony is magnificent. You just can't make this up. I'm so glad that I got this screenshot because later that day, the promo video resurfaced on the Nueva Facebook page, except for now, they cut me and Savannah out. That whole section with our faces and with our voices overlaid, it's completely gone. They just chopped it out, put up a new version on Facebook. And to me, this is kind of proof of them admitting that they messed up. Something slipped through the cracks somewhere in order for that original video to be approved to be posted, and that is so embarrassing for them. But people didn't let it go that easily. People were still commenting on this new version of the video. They're saying things like, why change the promo? It was great. You know what might make this promo better? Some clips with anti-MLM content creators. And then someone else said, best idea I've ever heard. This one killed me. Someone said, oh, the version with anti-MLM creators Hannah Thaler and Savannah Marie was better in my opinion. And then I can't. And then the official Nueva account responds saying, yeah, until they lost all their mind, leaving hundreds of comments on our Instagram account. I guess we should have known who they were, but we've never seen those people in our life. And then she responds back, first day on the internet, huh? So good. Hundreds of people, really Nueva, hundreds. As I said earlier, unfortunately for them, I have a fake account, so I could still see this post even after they blocked me, and I was refreshing the comments on this post religiously. It was like kind of obsessive, to be honest. I was refreshing that thing every couple minutes. I was screenshotting every single comment that came in to the best of my ability because I wanted to see if they were meticulously deleting the comments as they were coming in too. And you want to know how many people commented about me and Savannah on their promo video? Literally only 14 people, okay? I've got the screenshots. I've got the receipts. Maybe I missed a few, so let's be generous. Let's round it up. Let's say 20 people total commented on that post. What are you talking about? Hundreds of people flooded your comment section. Like, my 2-year-old could count these comments and tell you that there's 14 of them, okay? But again, this checks out. We can't trust people in MLMs to be truthful about the reality of what's going on, but we can absolutely trust that they're going to exaggerate things to make themselves look better, especially when they feel threatened. Look, before this point, Nueva, not on my radar at all. I think I'd heard some rumblings of like there was gonna be a new company forming out of desperate Modere refugees, because that's kind of just like the natural thing that you do when your MLM collapses is you either jump to a new company or you create your own, so it wasn't that surprising. But I really didn't know anything else. I didn't even know their name, and honestly, I didn't care to know anything else. New companies surface all the time. They're hot for like a month or two as people are furiously joining, and then they fade into irrelevance faster than they appeared. And just given that I was in the middle of a really stressful time in my personal life, I wasn't paying attention to Nueva, and I likely wasn't going to cover them at all. That is, until this ordeal. Now they've got my attention. Now they've secured themselves a spot on my channel. So hello, Nueva. Welcome to your episode. I feel like I cannot call this a deep dive because there is so little information on this company right now, so I guess I'll just call it like a shallow dive. I'll tell you what I know, but what I know isn't all that much. But this is the part where I give credit where credit is due, and I admit that the little information I do know about this company has come from other creators like Savannah Marie, Julie Anderson, and DC. I am totally late to the game as far as reporting on this new MLM just because I have been so busy and kind of offline recently. They have been on it as far as documenting Nueva the past couple months as tidbits of information come out. They've snuck into private Facebook groups. They have access to private Zoom calls. Julie Anderson even trolled the company by signing up in their like pre-launch phase where you can sign up for free with just like your name and your email and your phone number or something. Julie signed up for free. She got her own distributor ID number, and then she blasted that out on her social media, so a bunch of her followers joined her team as a joke. And so many people caught on to this that it gave Julie a downline of 301 people, and it propelled her to the top 3 enroller in the entire company. And that's how far she got before Nueva caught on and they kicked her out. And what I love the most about what Julie did is she completely exposed that for a time, this was a recruitment-based company. Distributors were climbing in the leaderboards without selling a single product. In fact, they were signing up for a company that didn't even have a product yet. That's the most insane thing about all of this. This is the first time in my 4 years of creating anti-MLM content that I have seen a company start recruiting people before that company even knew what they were going to be selling yet. The only thing the company had at this point was a name and a back office where they could start assembling the recruits into teams. The way I see it, this company was born out of the desire to create an MLM, not the desire to sell a quality product. A bunch of former Modere people banded together because they simply wanted to be at the top of their own MLM. So what does that tell you? That the recruitment and the numbers and the team building is valued greater than the sale of their non-existent product. I'll let you conclude for yourself what you think that kind of an operation should be called. For the first few weeks, the only thing they were metaphorically selling was hype. They were promoting a dream. They were promoting the fact that you can secure an early spot in this company, which, as we all know, is your greatest asset in an MLM structure. The products were clearly an afterthought, like a severe afterthought. Like, oh crap, we should probably think of what we're going to be selling. We should probably whip up a product sometime soon. People were agreeing to sign up for Nueva without knowing what they were going to be selling, if they even liked it, or if it even worked. That tells you all you need to know about their motives and their integrity. Let's talk quickly about who's running this whole operation, and the answer is we don't really know at this point. Nowhere on Nueva's website are their founders listed at this point, but there are some main characters that keep popping up on all of these Zoom calls, so it kind of hints to us who's running this ship. This Business for Home article names Brian McMullen as the founder of Nueva, and according to this article, he was with Modere for 23 years, and that he was also the #1 earner in 5 different MLMs, and now he's also the owner of 2 other MLMs. And notably, after doing a little bit of digging, I found out that one of the companies Brian was with was Vima, which was sued by the FTC for being a pyramid scheme, and then they settled and they shut down. So this guy has been around the MLM block. He's seen a thing or two, for better, for worse. And I get the impression that this is the guy with the money. He's the one that's funding the startup of Nueva. And then in addition to him, there's also a handful of former Modere members who were in the company for a long time, had massive teams, were towards the top of the compensation plan, and who were making tons of money. We've got John and Nadia Melton, Sarah and Tony Zalecki, Rick and Michelle Teague, Margie Margie Aliprandi and Michelle Barnes. Then there's also a couple other people who don't seem to have been affiliated with Modere itself, but they definitely know a thing or two about running an MLM, so they've kind of been brought into the fold. There's Josh Swagel, who's the owner and CEO of an MLM company called My Daily Choice. They sell health and wellness supplements, among other things. And then there's DJ Barton. He's the co-founder of Lavardi, which is a travel MLM, and he thought he was very original with his naming because Lavardi is just I travel spelled backwards. And why would you want a guy who knows something about running a supplement MLM and a guy who knows something about running a travel MLM to come together to help with the creation of Nueva? Well, that's because Nueva is not only going to be selling supplements, but they're also going to be selling a side of travel memberships. Talk about a bizarre pairing. This makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, what are you doing? This is the best you could come up with when it comes to deciding what product to slap on this MLM company? I know I keep using this word, but it is sloppy. And it looks like for the most part, we've got these three guys running this operation. We've got DJ Barton, the travel MLM guy, and then we've got Tony Zalecki and John Melton, who were very high up in Modere. Tony Zalecki was that guy who posted the promo video to his Facebook where it was my face as the thumbnail. And I just have to show you something that John Melton posted to his Facebook story. He's trying to give us a sneak peek into the back office.
And then check out how cool this back office is. So it tells you how many personal enrollments you have, the team. So our team alone, now we're not the whole company, right? But our team alone has over 1,900 people. And, hold on, let me see this. And then it shows you like the leaderboard in real time. So it updates in real time. How freaking cool is that? Like, it's just so fun. And then you go here into the dashboard, and it's just, there's so many features on here already. You got the different websites, you got your teams.
Because that's all there is at this
Contact manager,
point.
you got earnings, different reports. I mean, it's just dope. Again, not bad. In just 3 weeks.
He's showing us that within 3 weeks, he already has a team built up to over 1,900 people. And he has personally recruited 175 of those people, and he and his wife sit at the top 3 recruiter spot in the entire company. But it gets better. The very next thing he posts to his story that day says, and at some point, we'll have products and stuff. Don't worry, guys. At some point, we'll be concerned about actually selling a product, but for now, we're just focusing on recruiting. You really can't make this stuff up. This is crazy. Well, that day has finally arrived, and now they do have, quote, products and stuff. As of right now, the only product linked on their website is a listing for Nueva Travel. This is an upfront enrollment fee of $200 with a monthly fee of $40 a month after that. And they market this as, quote, a premium digital membership platform offering wholesale access to luxury travel experiences across the globe. From hotels and cruises to curated escapes and all-inclusive resorts, it unlocks the lifestyle customers dream of at a fraction of the cost. So basically, you pay this one-time and monthly membership fee to be a part of this platform that you can book your travel expenses through. And it supposedly offers you these accommodations at a cheaper rate than anywhere else you could possibly find them. They even allude to the fact that booking through Nueva Travel would be cheaper than booking through sites like Expedia, Booking.com, or Priceline, because Nueva offers, quote, true wholesale pricing, whatever that means. But what I find extremely compelling is that when you go to the Lavardi website, the other travel MLM that DJ Barton created, who's now helping with Nueva, you'll see that Lavardi sells a nearly identical product to what Nueva is trying to now sell. Lavardi sells a monthly membership to a platform that claims to help you save on travel, just like Nueva. And the Lavardi site boasts that you can get up to 70% off on your travel expenses compared to sites like Expedia. And the Nueva website claims the exact same thing, that you can get up to 70% off. And this feels noteworthy because of DJ Barton's involvement with Nueva, right? It kind of feels like he might be taking what he already has and just applying it to this new MLM. I also learned that Lavardi is a company that's only like a year old. I had never heard about it until this point because, as I said, new MLMs are popping up all the time. It's just so hard to keep up. But it does have me speculating, and this is my own personal musing, that perhaps DJ Barton and Lavardi are not doing so hot. Not doing as great as they thought they would with this travel company thing, and maybe he saw an opportunity to jump on this new venture to sell virtually the exact same product, but it's within this new company that's already got a really strong distributor base because of everybody coming over from Modere. He's got a product that's not selling, and he finds this new company with a bunch of recruits and nothing to sell, so it's like a match made in heaven. Again, I have no proof on that claim at all. That's just me trying to put the pieces together for myself on what is potentially happening here. I could be wrong, but it seems like all all the clues are kind of fitting together in that way. Remember though, travel memberships are not the only thing Nueva is going to be selling. They're also going to be selling supplements. There's a health and wellness side to their brand in addition to the travel side, as bizarre as that combo is. There was buzz for a while that Nueva was going to be jumping on the peptide bandwagon, just like that new company called Make Wellness is doing, that was founded by a guy who also left Modere. So there was an idea for a while that like Make Wellness and Nueva are going to be going head to head in the peptide battle, but it's not really looking like that anymore, I don't think. There was also speculation for a little bit that they were going to be selling this hydrogen infused canned beverage called Hydro Shot, but there's also no official word on that either. At this point, the only confirmed product that Nueva has talked about and posted about publicly on their social media platforms is called Nueva Nitro. Nueva Nitro is a drink powder that you mix with water. Revolutionary. And their marketing slogan for this product is, it's not just a boost, it's a biohack. It comes in 2 different flavors and it claims to combine nitric oxide precursors with molecular hydrogen and electrolytes to give you energy. It claims to support clean energy, healthy circulation and oxygen flow, give you good focus and cognitive function, mitochondrial and cellular support, and support your gut health. Honestly, it's like every other MLM supplement I've ever seen in my entire life, except for this one is special because you have to wait 5 minutes after you mix it up before you can drink it so that you give it time for the hydrogen to activate, you know? Who is buying this crap? And not literally buying it because it's not even for sale yet, but like who is buying into these product claims? I swear all of the supplements from all the MLM companies, they're just running together in my mind. I cannot keep track of who sells what anymore because they all sell the same looking products that claim to do the same things. It's insane. You could literally take this graphic and replace that photo with a different photo of a different company's products, and I swear I've seen it before. But it's clear that Nueva is trying to set themselves apart by not only selling supplements but also travel memberships. And at this time, the only thing for sale on the website is that travel membership. No one has purchased these Nueva Nitro packets. No one has tried them. No one's gotten their hands on them. The jury's still out on if these things even taste good or if they even work. But to be honest, I feel like we can't even trust the word of the reps who are going to be selling these things. You know they're going to tell you that it tastes good. You know they're going to say it works fantastically because they've already signed up to sell this thing. They've already committed to it. I don't envision a world where people try the Nueva Nitro product and go, oh, this actually kind of sucks. I don't really want to sell it. I'm out. They're not going to give up their spot at the top of the pyramid just because the product tastes like crap. Let's be honest with ourselves. They're going to sit there and say it's great, just like every other representative from every other company says their product is great. Based on some posts from their Instagram page, they're calling it a dual-sided product portfolio with a dual-sided compensation plan, and they say they have 2 product paths. That language and the design of these graphics is a bit confusing to me because I can't tell if this is like an either-or situation. Like, do you get to choose if you want to shill supplements or shill travel memberships, or does everyone get to do both? I have no idea. They've not released their final compensation plan document, so I don't have any idea what that looks like yet, but they did host a Zoom call where they discussed portions of the comp plan, and it basically looks like they just took Modere's plan and they tweaked it a little bit. Erin B's got access to that Zoom call and she did a video kind of breaking it down, so I'll link that below. And that's kind of all we know at this point, or I should say that's all I know. As I keep saying, there are several other YouTube creators who have been doing a much better job covering Nueva and all the new developments as they come out, so definitely check out their channels. I'll have them linked below. But in summary, this is a new company named Nueva, fittingly, and they're born of former Modere reps who, in my opinion, had no desire to actually sell a good product. They just wanted to be at the top of their own MLM. It looks like they're going to be selling some strange and inconsistent products, and there is significant team building going on before anyone has ever seen the product. I did want to put this company on your radar, but my personal prediction is that this company is probably going to fade away within a year. This is one of the weaker company launches that I've seen recently, and I think that people are going to see right through it. What they've put out there so far is not even halfway convincing me that this is going to last. All I see is a bunch of people who are at the top of Modere who still really desire to be at the top of something, and they don't really care what. All they know is they just want to be at the top and they're going to work out the logistics later, and this is completely setting them up for failure, in my opinion. It's clear that the products don't matter, the marketing doesn't matter, including anti-MLM creators in their promo video doesn't matter. They're making this up as they go along. They are royally freaking out in the wake of Modere closing, and they are trying to scrape something together as fast as they can, and you can tell. So that's all I have for you today on Nueva. Like I said, I'm sorry this wasn't like a really in-depth deep dive, but there's just not that much out about them right now. I can continue to keep my eye on them in the future. I do kind of want to see where this goes, but I have a gut feeling that it's going nowhere. Feel free to leave your predictions in the comments down below too. Make sure to check out those sources in the description box so you can form your own opinion. That's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next one real soon.